Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Beirut, Lebanon. It's the FIBA Asia Cup. It's the group phase. It's Group D. And it's Japan getting ready to face one of the new kids on the block here in Asia, Australia. Well, we've just watched New Zealand win the opening game against Kazakhstan. They are another of the new kids on the block from Oceania. And now we're about ready to see the Boomers. That's right, the Boomers warming up. And there you see the Olympian David Anderson out leading the charge, as well as former Olympian Brad Dooley. And they will take on the Japan team that's talented and is now coached by Julio Lamas. More on that later. There you see the first games. New Zealand pulling away in the second half. Had far too much for Kazakhstan. Chinese Taipei and Hong Kong will get it on in the third game today. And then look out, it's going to be Lebanon taking on Korea. And you better batten down the hatches for that one, folks, especially if you're in Beirut. Those Lebanese are talking big time at the FIBA Asia Cup. They are hoping to go all the way. But right now, it's Australia taking on a dangerous Japanese team, we think. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined by Nick Bett. And Nick, you know what? A lot of people expect this Boomers team to go on and get the title.
Well, thanks, Jeff, and good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. 2-1 favourites coming in on some books you might see around the world. But they are favourites.
Number 5, Jason Kadir.
Yeah, and it's great to see. We saw New Zealand first game of the Asian Championships. Now we got Australia first game. The level of this tournament now has gone up an extra couple of notches behind the FIBA European Championships. This is probably the next best level of tournament. I think we take America's probably gone down a notch, and this one's gone right up there now. So all to play for, and all credit to Australia, who've brought a decent team. We think that New Zealand and Australia may be planning with World Cup qualification around the corner. So look at this element of team from home-based players. But yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting prospect for this Japanese team to overcome the strongest Australian outfit.
And the assistant coach,
welcome, folks. If you're just joining us, we're in Beirut. It's the FIBA Asia Cup, and we're warming up for the second game of the day. The assistant coach, it's Australia taking on Japan.
Number 6,
Makoto Hijima. A couple years ago, look at that.
Number 7, Ryusi
Shirama. Argentina Minds.
Number 8,
now in charge
Atsuya
of
Ota.
Japan. And it's a very, very interesting situation. Japan getting to the semifinals.
Number 18, Yudai Baba.
That was in Chengdu.
Number 24, Daliki Tanaka.
Now they are
Number
here.
25,
Of course, last year they had a disappointing run at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Serbia.
Ryumo Ono.
But certainly, you talk about areas where you find great coaches. You know, the cradle of coaching in the Balkans. Well, when you go to Argentina, you see some of the greats, and that is where Japan have gone to get their coach. See the referees line up. We'll talk about them in just a second. But before we do that, we're going to have the playing of the national anthems for both Australia and Japan.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Japan.
there you have it, the first game for these two teams at the FIBA Asia Cup. Australia and Japan. And what a tasty one it is, of course. We saw Japan, I guess, pull perhaps a minor upset against Australia.
The referees for the
The
game
FIBA
are
Women's Asia Cup that was only recently played in Bengaluru, India. And now it's going to be the men that are going to get it on, but here in the
The
group
commissioner
phase.
is Rafika Dayan from Lebanon.
Well, we're going to have a look quickly at the referees, and I guess we didn't have too many questions about the performance of the refs in that first game, Mick. And
a very good game, Jeff. Every time the referees are quiet, you don't notice them. You can almost say a great game, ref. It's, you know, this is building up arena. I think game 3 here we'll see a lot more fans turn up as they turn up for the home game against Lebanon. We're expecting a capacity crowd. We're expecting some people to turn up and find the seats they bought have not been occupied by other things going on around here. It's that bad. It's get a ticket if you can job around here for the Beirut for the Lebanon team. There you see Anderson, Jeff.
Yeah,
I don't think he's playing. He had a earring on at the during the lineups. There you see the Australian team. 3 Mitches on the team: Mitchell, Mitch, and Mitch. Mitchell, McCarron, Norton, and Creek. That'll be interesting to get through there. But Anderson, 13, won't play. Kickett, 12, is a decent player. Played in Europe a lot. Now, of course, Brad Newley, the ever-present Brad Newley. Great to see him make the trip for this tournament. Adding much experience to the squad.
I have it on good evidence from Paul Kennedy down under. Mitch Creek is somebody you want to keep an eye on. Very athletic.
I'm watching him in the warm-up, Jeff.
He's in that starting 5 with the veteran kicker, Matthew Hodgson, Kadee, and Cameron Glidden. And of course, you know Kadee, explosive scorer point guard. So certainly at youth level, we'll see if he does it now. In Japan, Julio Lamas the coach, and Makoto Hiyajima. You'll remember him from a couple of years ago. He was outstanding leading scorer for that Japanese team. Of course, we don't have Rui Hachimura, but we do have Ira Brown. And what those two guys have in common, Hachimura is at Gonzaga, and that's where the 35-year-old Brown played college basketball. So it's Togashi, Hiyajima, Takeuchi, Tanaka, and Brown in the starting 5 for Julio Lamas. And I'm really curious, you know, the Argentinians, and Lamas coached Argentina as recently as 2014, and they have a very distinctive style of playing, and I don't think he's had enough time really to implement what he wants from this Japanese team. And we actually spoke to him a couple of nights ago, and he says, listen, I've been here 2 weeks, and he didn't say what he was talking about, but we assumed that he's going to need more time to get his philosophy ingrained.
Yeah, I think so. And Jeff, in just 2 minutes I spoke to him. You have known him longer than I, but very soft-spoken, very relaxed. Coached in Spain for a long, long time. He knows what he's doing. And to say, you know, I've only been here 2 weeks. There he is. We'll see in the next 10 days how much improvement this team makes under his guidance. That's for sure. But his Japanese will improve a bit too.
Talk about great coaches. I mean, Andre Lamanis. I mean, that was a no-brainer. I mean, they had to keep him involved. He thought after the Olympic cycle, maybe that would be it, but they've been able to work out. Of course, he coaches in NBL with Brisbane. He did such an amazing, I don't use that word lightly, amazing job with the New Zealand Breakers. And these guys have been playing good basketball for him. Now, this is an NBL star-laden team for Australia, and these guys are champing at the bit to get after it. Very excited. Oh, good afternoon, folks, here from Beirut. We are at the FIBA Asia Cup. It's the second game of the day. New Zealand have won against Kazakhstan, and now it's Japan and Australia going at it. And Australia start as favorites in this game, but you never know what is in store. Kadee out there guarding the point guard. And long jump shot, good. And Japan strike first.
Great start from Japan. Tanaka with their first jump shot. They, you know, one thing I know for sure, Jeff, they've played a long time together. It doesn't matter who's coaching them, they'll have a certain way of playing. They're going to go zone right from the start against the Australians too. So someone's going to have to open up some jump shots.
The miss in Japan with a chance to run. So it's Tanaka with that first basket, and now it's going to be Brown that puts one up. And it's going to be the big fella for Australia, Hodgson, that comes down with that board. He is big, isn't he? Brown's also pretty solid in that low post down there, but he gets called for the foul.
Quizzical look from Ira Brown too. You know, and he wants to know what I've done wrong. He says, I'm using the elbow. Is that not allowed? I think he's probably a great pass.
Oh, they give away an easy one inside. And Australia now are on the board. Cam Glidden gets his first two. Dribbling around up top, Tanaka. Now over to Brown. And then turning on the baseline. That's Australia's turn. Glidden. And kicker misses from the arc.
Just the first game, Jeff. There's going to be a lot of nerves going to be shaken off the first period or so, first 10 minutes. Just get players settled into the rhythm of the tournament.
Togashi pulls up and hits it. Well, didn't look nervous on that one, that's for sure.
A big, huge height advantage, I think, at every position on this team. That's why they're playing zone here.
You can see, though, that, I mean, Brown, as Australia knock in the jump shot. That was Kadi.
You know, they're going to have three-point shots pretty regularly. I'm surprised Julio Lamas has come out in zone because the Australians can shoot the ball.
Here's Kadi. And shot off the back of the rim and hit the top of the backboard, I think.
I think it hit the 24-second clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean the clock.
I think the top of the backboard's fine. It's just any equipment above it. Ira Brown takes a break. He's getting something. One of the assistant coaches just outlined something for Ira Brown on the bench there.
Shot again for Japan, so they've come out Hijima this time stroking it.
Well, you figure, Jeff, they're going to have to hit jump shots on it. They're not going to get many layups. They're not going to get many offensive rebounds or post moves.
Kadi puts up a long one. Interesting, passing the ball back to the big fella. Offensive foul called against Japan.
Haramoto there, number 88. That's got to be a competition for the biggest number in the tournament. Who would pick a number 88 out? I guess Mr. Haramoto will be able to answer that question. Wasn't much in that, Jeff. You know, I'll be honest with you. Push off on the dribble.
Beautiful pass inside to Hodgson, and he goes up and lays it up and in.
Great no-look pass from Glidden, wasn't it? That ball could have gone all the way over the other side of the floor, but just lobbed it up for the big fella.
Hijima. Intercepted by Kicker, who's back in this Australia team. Remember, he played in 2006 at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Japan. Now the kicker has it, turns, spins, puts it up and scores.
Yeah, nice looking move. A lot of experience. I saw him working in the warm-up on his jump shots, jump hooks. Daniel Kiggett left and right. Very nice soft touch.
Jump shot is good from Japan's number 24, Tanaka. So that's his second basket.
Lamas is having a conversation with one of the referees about something. Brad Newley comes into the game. Lamas wants something equalized down the other end, I think.
They're going to like that. I mean, you can see, watch this. A little bit of a hook. And
yeah, Tagashi saying to the referee, there's a hook there from...
I think he was right, actually, yeah. And now palming is Kadhi, turns it over. But you know, we've watched Lamas coach Argentina. Boy, he is really into this. I mean, he is intense as he comes. Now there's the Kadhi losing control of the ball. Yashi finds his way inside and then back out. And a three-point shot from that's same Tanaka, number 24, and that is not a good sign for the Australians. Seeing the Japanese jump out. Such good shooting. You wonder if they could keep it up all day, though.
That's a handful, isn't it? Matt Hodgson just working the boards there. There's no reason he should have got that offensive rebound. It's all through effort, hustle, and a little push in the back.
Furukawa was guilty of the foul.
Yeah. Japan stayed in the zone. Be interesting to see how long they could stay in it before Australia cheese them out of it with three-point shooting.
They get to Newley. He's going to want to penetrate. Open to Kadhi, and he knocks in another three.
That's his spot right there, isn't it?
Right on the wing.
Jason Kadhi, same place. He missed one on this near side earlier in the 2 or 3 minutes ago, but 2 of 2 from that one spot.
Tanaka gets it. Over to Takauchi. Oh, behind the back pass. And a three-pointer from Harimoto. Why went for that number 88? It really does stand out, doesn't it?
We've got to ask the story about that one.
Maybe he was born in 88. Jump shot, and it's good.
Three-point fest right now. Yeah, Glidden there opens up, and they're going to get open looks time and time again. Glidden, Kadhi, and Newley now is a good three-point shooter on the floor.
And that shot from Tagashi is good as well. And right now, boy, Japan have come out firing.
Tagashi, Jeff, is 5'6". The smallest player on both teams, easy.
And long one, Tagashi takes the miss. And the turnover into the hands. You don't want to do this if you're Japan. Glidden takes it in, puts it up off the glass. And he will go to the line for an and one.
Yeah, sweet move from Cam Glidden there. The excellent bit is the contact first of all, and the peace of mind to get just the right amount of spin with his left hand. You see the contact there. No, we didn't quite see the rest of the play. Glidden and Kadhi 7 and 6 points apiece right now. So it's the guards, the 4 and 5 on Australia that's leading the way.
Free throw is good. Yeah, I would say that would be one area where you simply cannot struggle against Australia is turning the ball over. It leads to the 3 points.
No, exactly right. We saw that in the first game with Kazakhstan. just so profligate with the ball.
Oh, the three-pointer is good from number 25, Furukawa. And right now, this Japan team is shooting lights out.
It doesn't matter who touches the ball, does it? They're going to fire it up.
8 of 11 from the floor. Three of 4 from three-point range as well, Japan. Here's Brant in the game, number 14, another of those bigs. Now Newley goes left, puts it up. That's a foul.
I think there's another carrying call, Jeff.
Okay.
I think Newley just turning the corner with his left hand. Yeah. 2 in a game. We don't see that very often.
We've seen it 2 1/4.
Little 1-2-2 press here from Australia. Sink back into man-to-man.
Again, another three-point attempt. And this time, Furukawa off target. Greek has it up top. Now to Brant. And a reach and a foul called on Ota.
Yeah, it must have been the slightest of touches. A little reach and a little grab at the ball, maybe, and just raked across the arms of Brant.
Norton is going to check in for Kadi.
Take a good look here at Angus Brant here. He's got some fair old body on him, Jeff. Bodies like that don't grow on trees, I'm telling you. That's a lot of work in the gym.
How do you know? He might be a woodcutter. He might be a lumberjack. I know there's a couple of players on the other side of the water in New Zealand that are known for chopping wood.
And let him shoot another one. I think they're going to say, listen, we're going to shoot. You can shoot till you make one. Big fella, soft touch here. There you go.
Yep. And he knocks it at 19 apiece inside the final minute. So Shinoyama in the game, handling the ball. Shinoyama looks more like a pure point guard. Tagashi wasn't afraid to put it up. And this time the penetration, oh, they're going to call it block.
Yeah, that's tough on Australia. I think that's pretty good defense.
Looked like Haramoto may have gotten away with one.
The big 88 comes flying in. Maybe he's 88 kilograms. That's what it is. Maybe he's just a big old weight in there. Flying in there. It's good defense.
And the first one is missed. You know, you just wonder with Australia. I mean, this national team program, they were right there, weren't they, at the Olympics last year? Just barely missed out on getting that first Olympic medal for the men's team. Second free throw is good, so it's a 1-point lead. Of course, most of those guys are not here. It's only David Anderson this time. Shows the strength of this Australia team that they can put a good team out here.
For sure.
Here's Newley. And that was good defense, and the ball goes off of Newley and out of bounds.
Good call. That's it. Newley's leg last of all. It's turned the corner on that play, expecting it to find daylight. Nothing going with the Japanese defense so strong.
Oh, now it looks like he's dribbled it off of his leg. Harimoto.
Just getting above himself there. Harimoto had a good little handoff for an open jump shot, especially with 2 seconds left.
Oh, Newley's going to have to chuck it. He does, and it was a little bit to the left. So at the end of one, it's Japan leading at 20-19 over Australia on day one of the FIBA Asia Cup.
Couldn't ask for a better game, better start, and Japan are right in there against a much taller, much stronger Australian team.
match up this. Okay.
Here's Julio Lamas talking to his team.
Guru.
Throwing up a few plays. I mean,
receive the screen,
you know,
receive the ball
it's
and back.
inconceivable that they can continue to shoot the ball
And we
as
can
well
play
as they
this
have.
screen because
But
we can play
from a confidence
pick and roll.
standpoint, that first quarter surely
with the spacing of
has helped
okay?
them. They must be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Jeff, I mean, you know, they've gone through their coaches over the years, haven't they? And they've had a lot of different styles thrown at them over the years. But the one thing they've played together for many, many years, these guys. They all know their games, they all know their strengths. You know, sitting Ira Brown down after a minute's play is typical there of a different style of play they can go to after Brown sits down.
Second quarter action underway here from Beirut, Lebanon, Japan and Australia. Japan on top, leading it by a single point. It's a team that many think are good enough to go ahead and win this title in their first appearance at the Asian Cup. Australia. And the energetic Creek bounce pass to Kay. Couldn't quite control it. And good D from Creek. Just reaches up, takes it away. Now Newley. Creek gets inside, and was it Ira Brown that reached in and knocked it away? Those Japanese hands are proven to be pretty quick down low.
Yeah, Creek, I think, may have trying to play for the foul there with a lot of arm swinging, but maybe he got a lot of contact in there. Subs in the game very quickly this second quarter. As Brandt has sat down. Get the feeling, I think the feeling Australia have got a slightly small lineup here, or smaller lineup, just a one big in there.
Baba has come in, number 18. He's guarding Creek. Look at him. He's on him right now. He says, "You're not going anywhere." And Creek behind the back pass to Kickard. And good defense from Japan. And look at Lamas over there. He is getting fired up, forcing the shot clock violation. Give it up for the Japanese D.
Yeah, heady defense there. And they recognize the shortness of the shot clock and just play that extra bit of tough-nosed, in-your-face defense and clean up trumps. Australia didn't know they were in the game. They do now.
Jump shot is from Shinoyama rather, and Australia bring it the other way. Oh, beautiful pass inside to Newley.
Yeah, nice little backdoor cut. They fake the pass to the wing. He cuts backdoor. Never usually see that pass very often, but well executed there.
I think that pass was from Kay.
Yeah, it was indeed, yeah. It's usually a pass the defenders can cover. You know, you see that off this offense a lot. So the defense is just going to sleep. Newley sits down again. So
The veteran steps out.
Only a minute and 46 seconds gone in the quarter, Jeff. Something must be missing on the floor that Lemanis that needs to change.
Offensive foul.
Was that Creek's second foul? Sorry, Brown's second foul.
Yeah, yes it is. It's his second. So Tagashi has a couple and now Brown a couple. Australia have only committed a couple of fouls, but defense knocking it away from Norton, who gets it back. Glidden a couple steps behind the arc, and now great hustle from Glidden with the ball.
Well, they're arguing it's a tip back,
over and
but
back.
I think it was more a controlled tip back. That's not exactly what's in the rule book, is it?
Certainly a promising start for Team Hayabusa. Iijima has it. Furukawa, excuse me, is 25. Shinoyama calls the play. Over to Brown. The former Zag puts it up, foot just inside the arc. Late the shot clock, didn't have much of a choice there.
Yeah, I just wonder whether Lamas will be too happy with his 5-man just dribbling around a couple of seconds before a 3 goes up.
Now inside the kicker again. He turns, he scores, and he draws the foul.
That's where you want to get the ball to your 5-man. Ota gets the fouls.
And now a technical foul has been called on Lamas for arguing against the foul on Ota.
Jeff, I thought he was arguing with his player.
No, I think he was barking at the referee. If we see it again, maybe that will confirm that.
I could have sworn he was having a go at Ota for standing behind the defense. Behind his man. Lamas has got a nice introduction to the Asia Cup.
Think about it, must be a fascinating opportunity for him. I can't remember another South American coming all this way. So Lamas has gone over to the commissioner's table to get some clarification. Maybe you're right. Maybe, just maybe, you're right for once.
What did I say?
The fact that he was having a go at
his
player.
Right, and maybe the referees mistook it for a vent of anger at them. Now he wants to talk to the refs, I think, too.
Well, it was a costly technical because the free throws and possession. You can see him on the right part of the screen there talking to the ref. Trying to get some clarification. Now kicker turns, gets it inside. It's a big sequence, Vic, because I mean Japan have done a great job so far.
Yeah,
and he's just allowed Australia to get a little bit of a lead. Norton drives in and makes sure he gets the contact, and he will go to the line.
Baba's going to get the foul, 18, I think. Here, I'm not sure he could have done much else because it was Norton with the penetration. But any points here is a big bonus for Australia. Maybe stretch this now to 7 points with a 27-20 lead.
Yeah, the more I look at Lamas's reaction over there on the bench, I think he may have nailed it. He was barking out at Ota. Anyway,
I'm surprised to see the referees tee up a coach this early in the game too, which is not really a game that's much emotion in it so far. A little bit of pressure down the floor. 1-2-2 from Australia.
Tagashi back in the game, number 2.
Yeah, he's their best guard, I think, best point guard.
Furukawa now. And Brown fouled by Kay.
Not much in that either, was it? A little bit of contact from the back. All the contact that goes on around the floor, and when it's isolated in that low post, the referee is very quick to get involved. Tanaka's in, Jeff, and Furukawa goes out, 24 and 25 out.
Morimoto back in, number 88. Oh, beautiful bounce pass.
Mitch McCarron's going to get this foul, I think.
They may have been bailed out by this one.
I think Ira Brown fumbles this more than McCarron fouls. It's tough on Mitch McCarron. There's no contact at all, Jeff.
Yeah.
Ira Brown just fumbled it. I wouldn't be surprised if McCarron doesn't even know it's his foul. You know, because you don't make contact with the ball, therefore the whistle's gone. You think, well, it can't be me. Japan back in the zone again. This is a bit height disadvantage that Julio Lamas wants to stay away from.
Saw that free throw shooting stat. Australia 5-7. Japan 2 of 4.
You know, it's almost unforgivable to come up with no shot against the zone.
So Kadee back in, running the show, and Australia looking to build on this 5-point lead. Kicker just dumps it inside to Hodgson, but 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's tough, you know, because the back man of the zone's overplaying the wing pass. Therefore, he did the right thing, but Hodgson just didn't time his cut. He just stayed in there, camped in there.
Three-point shot from Togashi is good, and Andre Lamanis decides he wants a timeout.
That's the first field goal for Japan this quarter, Jeff. 4 minutes and 27 seconds to get their first field goal. But it also highlights how Australia have really gone off the boil slightly since they had that little run around that technical foul.
So Australia, if you're not familiar with it, obviously they and New Zealand played in FIBA Oceania, and now they're part of Asia and kind of the shake-up of international basketball. Also, we got the World Cup qualifiers coming up. And
See Jeff
next talking there to his Japan team. We haven't said this. They're gearing up for the 2020 Olympics.
Well, I'm just going to point out the translator there, Jeff. So Lamas is talking, and the translator is.
This is always an issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it with China over the years, and it's one of the hurdles that you have to overcome.
Which does surprise me, because I'm sure a lot of these Japanese players must speak English, but maybe not Julio Lamas English. Softly
Maybe
spoken.
he's translating from Spanish.
Yeah, maybe.
The translator.
Yeah.
Argentinian Spanish to Japanese. Anyway, and Glidden catches it, goes in, and earns a trip to the line.
You know, one of the easiest ways to break down a zone is just dribble penetration, and Cam Glidden goes, catches it on the wing. I said, that's an enormous gap. I'm going to get in it, get all the way to the hoop.
And even worse for Japan is Brown has picked up his 3rd foul.
You know, if I'm Julio Lamas, I'm not overly worried, because the best sequence of this game has been when Brown has been on the bench. So hopefully he'll be hoping that run lasts a little longer. Glidden will go into double figures if he gets this free throw in. First player in the game to break the 10-point mark.
Yeah, he's been good. Second one is good as well. So back to a 4-point lead. And nice drive, but the Aussies, oh, they stood tall that time, and now Glidden. Oh, what a bounce pass. And McCarron decides to bring it back. Kicker, meanwhile, is going to put up a 3. Offensive foul. And it's Harimoto with the block.
Yeah, tough one on Japan there. They got possession and just careless play turns it over. Go back the other end, Jeff. You got Daniel Kickett shooting the three. Obviously, he feels he can make it, but of course the problem is he's one of the main rebounders. If it misses, there's not many other players in there to get the offense. Nice play.
Oh, beautiful play for Australia, and Hodgson just goes up and flushes it.
And that should be the focus of their offense for the next 4.5 minutes of this game right now. Occupy the middle man of that zone with a post up.
Well, the drive from Tanaka unsuccessful. Now Glidden over to Kadee off the back of the iron, and Tanaka fouls McCarron.
Yeah, good play from Mitch McCarron there, just getting in where the big guys hang out, getting a nice little offensive rebound for the guards. And you get 2 shots for his efforts too.
So Lamas gets his timeout finally, and going to talk about things once again. Well, Cam Glidden's been impressive. You know, you look back at the International Basketball 2007 FIBA Under-19 World Championship for men. That Australian team finished 5th. He was in that team, but first time he's really gotten to play in a big tournament with the senior team.
He was on that Australian team. There was another star on that Australian team, wasn't there? That was a big one. Nicholas Batum was in that tournament in Serbia. Novi Sad, wasn't it? And Serbia beat USA in the final. I tell you, was playing for the Americans was no less than Steph Curry.
That's right, and he was. Yes, you do. That was a good.
You know, interesting enough, Steph Curry wasn't. I think he was the second top scorer on that USA team, but by no means was he the star of that team, or wasn't at that point in his life the star of the team.
No, he wasn't. Kind of a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Well, he was good by the time he got to college. I mean, that was a great Australia team.
Well,
the under-19s.
Who else was on that team?
Well, a guy that goes by the name of Pat Mills.
Okay, that's I knew there was other good
Chris
players.
Goulding,
Yeah.
he played. AJ Ogilvy, very good. So Shannon Seabaum, Nate Tomlinson, Jackson, Daniel Jackson was in that team. So a lot of good players in Australia who, you know, they've got so many good players. It's very similar to Spain in a way, in that it's difficult to get that opportunity in the senior team when you have like what you know, somebody complimentary called the monsters.
Well, you might have players go through 10-12-year national team careers, and you're basically straight away, but no chance, have you, if you're in the same position as one of the top players.
Iajima, and they need him to provide some points, and he's got the ball now. Harimoto backs up Kadee. A little bit of a step back. An alley-oop pass. And the first alley-oop slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. And from McCarron.
I wouldn't have expected it from Mitch McCarron, but I'm probably doing him a disservice.
Yep. After seeing that, we'll probably see that again. He's definitely got the hops. Look at that. 11 assists for Australia, 3 for Japan. Tagashi drives in. Well, a little bit of a mismatch there. He got Hodgson out away from the basket, was able to blow past him.
Yeah, kudos to Tagashi. Just took his time, didn't he?
Nice move from Brandt. Now back to Kadee. And Kadee puts it up. He's just a scorer, isn't he?
Yeah, nice play. It was kicked it out to him too. The penetration from the number 12 for Australia, but Kadee's has forced, that's for sure. Him and Glidden, good little pairing at the guard spot.
Iajima drives. And it's time from the corner, Glidden up, but Big Hodgson comes in, I think, and gets the putback.
Yeah, it's a big problem for Japan, isn't it? They're getting the 3-point misses on the perimeter against the zone, but they can't clean up the boards. now the lead is 12.
And the drive and the contact and the foul.
Well, Harimoto's just thrown his body, and that's what the kicker's saying. How could it be me? I was nowhere near it. Japan have scored, I think it's 6 points this quarter, Jeff. They've really struggled, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have.
Australia business, they've doubled their score, 19 in both quarters so far. They're going to get a few more, obviously, now. 2:15 to play.
And the basket is good from Harimoto. You know, Hodgson played college basketball at St. Mary's, and they've had like a pipeline of talent that's gone to St. Mary's. That's Pat Mills is another one. I think, where did Dellavedova go? He was there, right?
Yeah.
Had his jersey retired. Creek explodes,
nice
lays
move.
it up and in.
You were warned about Mitch Creek, weren't you, in terms of his athleticism. We saw it in the warm-up. It was a pretty good-looking move.
Tanaka. Pass to Ota. Tough shot, good box out from McCarron. And then it goes to Kay, and an easy one. And the lead has grown to 14 points.
Jeff, so I'm talking about, just get the ball to the high post in one way or the other, through the guard or through the big man, and make sure you post up big on one of the bottom men of that zone. And it's just been fruitful for Australia. And I've got a feeling they've just opened this game up, really. And Japan will have a hard time getting back in this one.
But Julio Lamas talking to his players, and I mean, obviously he doesn't go into this thinking, right, we're going to start 0-1. He wants to get the win, but realistically, you know, they were big underdogs coming into this.
We'll go back to what you said the first quarter, Jeff. They make 6 jump shots in a row, maybe 7 or 8.
They're going to dry up.
Exactly right, and that's what's happened. They've scored 8 points this second period. Australia, on the other hand, have hit 23 now. They had 19 at the break, at the quarter break, and it's just been very, very difficult for this Japanese team when they can't make jump shots. What's your plan B? And they don't really have a plan. They just see McCarron's alley-oop slam.
Japan will get Chinese Taipei next, and then they'll finish up in Group D with the game against Hong Kong. So trying to stop the bleeding here right at the end of the first half.
It's tough, isn't it, Jeff? A lot of dribbling, a lot of play up near the top of the key, and own for a jump shot.
A 3-second violation called against Australia.
Offensive foul, Jeff, too.
Oh, offensive foul.
Yeah, I think there was a 3-second from one referee. And now you're going to talk about this.
About it and see.
Did the 3 seconds happen first? He could have said.
Well, 26.4 seconds.
Yeah. So they said the 3-second happened before the foul. Bailout time.
Japan would like to take this down as far as they can and hit a 2 or 3 and try to regroup at halftime. But Australia clearly will try to disrupt that plan. Now Ota comes up. Tagashi. Well, they've taken it down. Tagashi explodes, puts it up. Oh, it's going to be an ideal finish, it appears, to the first half.
Jeff, the finish on this from Tagashi is unbelievable, because if he goes up with his left hand, it's going to end up in the cheap seats. But he sneaks it underneath the arm of McCarron, I think it is, with his right hand.
Absolutely out of the top drawer, this move.
Watch this, right hand there. There was no foul. Oh, it's Norton. I don't think there was a foul from Norton. Good defense from him, really. But Tagashi's little bit of inspiration was.
He's carried this team in this first half, hasn't he? 11 points, now 12. In fact, he's got a game high 12 points.
At 5'6" too.
He's also got the 2 fouls, so smart coaching, little things like that. Shot clock winding down, game clock rather. Did getting off at time? No, well, it doesn't matter because he didn't make it. So pretty good from Australia, though. They just kept pounding away. The pressure was on, and they lead Japan here in their first ever FIBA Asia Cup game, 42-31 here in Beirut, Lebanon.
Well, as we wait for some stats to come up possibly for this first half so far, Jeff, it's been an interesting encounter. 11-point lead for Australia going in for the break. They've shown their true class, I think, the second period, where the defense picked up an extra couple of notches, and Japan really struggled to find some any continuity. Ira Brown's 3 fouls did hurt them, but I thought they played actually better without him in the first quarter anyway, so maybe it wasn't that much of an influence. Second half's going to be a tough one for the Japanese. There you see his stats coming up. Our graphics guys are not quite in tune with everything, but fine.
Don't be so hard on those guys. They're tired. 12 of 16 from the floor, though, for Australia.
And the rebounding, Jeff. 6 rebounds in a game. That can't be true, surely.
Well, 20-6. They're just getting killed. Australia really working the ball around, passing it well. 12 assists. If they're shooting 12-16. Defensively, Japan are going to have to try something different, perhaps.
Yeah, you wonder whether the zone's going to keep working for them because they're outmatched down below, but then if they go man-to-man, they're going to be struggling too. I think Ira Brown has to play a few more minutes the second half and stay in the game for Japan to be competitive.
So stick around for the second half. It's 42-31. Australia on top of Japan at the break. Well, 42-31 is the halftime score. The Boomers trying to lay the wood to Japan here in their first ever game at the FIBA Asian Cup. And Mick, they didn't see it. We didn't see it on the screen just now, but Julio Lamas went over to the referees, shook their hands, and I think offered an explanation or tried to say, "Forgive me."
No money.
In other words,
just an explanation.
Yeah, I didn't do what you thought I did, but anyway.
Yeah.
He had a technical called on in the first half, and you, the sleuth that you are, thought that he was talking to his player, not the referees. And the referees thought that he was shouting at them.
And there's nothing, Jeff, right? So you got a top-level tournament right here, right? So Australia, New Zealand, Iran, and Lebanon, China, Japan. Some of these referees will be coming into a tournament of a standard that they will not be very used to every day of the week when they're back refereeing in domestic leagues. So sometimes a reaction by a coach will be seen quite differently by this set of referees at this tournament here. And maybe Julio Lamas was the first victim of the trigger whistle.
The quick trigger.
Yeah.
Well, can you see any way back for Japan in this game? Remembering how they started.
I've got to say yes, haven't I? But realistically, well, 11 points. They come out shooting a couple of J's. We're right back in the game again. But do I think that Australia could go to the gears 3, 4, and 5 in terms of rolling this one out? I don't think they've even got out of second gear really in this game. They've just gone through the motions. Very functional, very gritty performance defensively. Fairly polished offensively. They know what they want to attack. I love the way the bigs post up low. That's going to be a real big plus for them going through this tournament, because there are some big teams here, but if you can post up and be strong under the basket, not necessarily low post, under the basket, it's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
1, 2, 3.
Second half action underway here in Beirut. Australia on top and looking to turn the screw against Japan. Kadee, Hodgson, Glidden, Kickert, all in the starting five, and they go right inside the Hodgson from the very beginning.
Yeah, and the fact that Hodgson can post up so deep in the lane means he doesn't have to do too much work to put the ball in the hoop, and that's because he's such a big body and he's willing to use it in there.
Creek also in there. Failed to mention Kickert went to St. Mary's as well, along with Hodgson, Dellavedova, and Pat Mills. So now 13-point lead. Tagashi has led all scorers in the game with 12 points. Ono in the game, number 34. There's Tagashi, little teardrop. Ira Brown not able to collect the rebound. Spin move, Creek blocked. No call by the ref, I think.
Yeah, Creek just out of control there. Nobody really following in from the fast break. He was on his own, 1 against 3. Well, they've gone ice cold, haven't they? 20 points in the first quarter. They just cannot make a jump shot right now.
Kickert for 3. Brown says, I'm just going to put one up. And just clanks it off the rim. Big concern, Australia getting the ball inside. Now, Creek backs up his man, turns but travels. So good D from 34, Ono.
Tough one on Creek. You can see what he wanted to do, just into the middle and reverse pivot, just a little shuffle of the feet, and Creek will sit down, Newley will come in. Chance for Mitchell Creek to just take a breather and gather his thoughts. I'm sure he's got bigger games ahead of him in this tournament.
Shot no good, and push off on Australia.
Yeah, kick it, just getting a little, get to know Ira Brown a little better. Nudges you on the rebound, went up. Well, this in some ways, Jeff, this all favors Japan's, isn't it? 2.5 minutes gone. Japan's can't score at all, but neither can Australia, really. 2 points have been scored this third period so far.
Oh, Brown with a little fadeaway. I think they need more than that. There it is, going to the basket, much better.
Brown had to work hard for that, didn't he? It almost rimmed out. Quite didn't get the right roll on it.
Now inside to Hodgson, back outside to Glidden, and Glidden just puts it in.
Yeah, inside-outside option. Once the ball went inside, they had to come down and double, and that opened up the shooter, Glidden.
Takashi picked up his dribble, was able to get it over to Ono. Takashi, yeah, he's going to put it up. If he saw a little bit of daylight, he was going to launch it.
Yeah, he's very compact, isn't he? Good little dribbler, good shooter. Wide open for Newley.
Brad Newley, in front of the rim.
Just held up his hand. He's just seemed to apologize to the coach because he had to take it, really.
Oh, again, nice from Ira Brown.
Was he 35 years of age?
35, but he looks good going to the basket. Yeah. That's what I would do every time.
Very quick first step. In zone for Japan, they'll pack it in.
Into Kickert. And Hodgson with the offensive rebound.
Yeah, that's nice work. Hodgson, you look at Hodgson, Jeff, he's got long arms, long legs. Maybe he doesn't jump as high as the other guys, but he's got that extension that just managed to get those offensive rebounds and bring them down. Going to move from Brown there. Gets the ball up with the foot out of his hands quickly. Kickert. I don't think Daniel Kickert really wanted a foul, so just some ways let him go through a little bit.
Hodgson's pass to Newley was intercepted by Tagashi. And foul.
Japanese defense there really coming up trumps. They got the ball down into that, force it down into that short corner. And the pass coming out was picked off by Takashi with ease. Jeff, I'm going to say it again. Look, 12 points. We said at halftime, there's no way Japan's coming back. A couple of big shots here. They're right back in it.
Well, they've been getting some good shots. That's the difference with a couple of Brown drives. Here he is again. Well, he's going to take that jump. Well, what do I know? I say he should be attacking the basket, and there he does.
Well, I guess the two layups, that left him open for the jump shot a little bit, didn't that little window? Gave him some confidence, too.
And he drives in, puts it up. Oh, boy. Instant offense.
Yeah, that's a tough shot to make. That could have easily have just missed. It was a high degree of difficulty. Keep Australia ahead by 12, which is good news for them, because I think there's a sense of Japan's coming back into this.
Oh, beautiful pass from Hijima, and I think it might be a foul on Newley.
The referees have put two hands up straight, two fingers up straight away, seems to say two shots. I didn't see that Takeuchi was shooting that. That's Ota, excuse me, number 8.
So what the foul was on Newley, his second. So Kickert, Kay, Newley, and Norton each with 2 fouls. And Ota who has 3 fouls, makes the first free throw. Also, Brown, remember, he picked up 3 in the first half. I mean, Brown was relatively anonymous in the first half, but he's had a nice little spurt here and helped Japan breathe some life into the game for them. So it's a 10-point game. Newly. And Kadi's shot off target.
This will bring it to single digits with a bucket here for Japan. This is exactly what Australia wouldn't have wanted at halftime. They would have wanted this to get to about 20 by this stage. Ball's going to the right player too.
Oh, power forward Brown, he puts it up, turns into the lane, and just like that, he's got 9 points, and the deficit is just 8.
To see if Lemanis calls timeout with a miss of the score here. I think he probably has to.
Good D from Brown. Kadi drives in, it's denied, and 4 seconds remains on the shot clock. Creek is going to come back in for Newly.
Yeah, Lemanis straight off the bench. He wants to know, wants to make sure they run the right play. He's put 4 fingers up in the air. There's the open 3 for Kadi.
And Kadi hits the 3. Boy, that is a tough pill to swallow for Japan.
Yeah, especially against the zone. You've got to make sure you got matched up with at least people on the perimeter.
Now Creek really harassing Hijima. Makoto Hijima back to Ota. And Ota was a little weak on the finish. And all of a sudden, the momentum has just swung right back to the Boomers.
Yeah,
and it has to be Lamas that might call the timeout.
That pass from Jason Kadi, we can see that almost a little bit of backspin on it as he put it through on his right hand.
And look at that, Angus Brent intercepts the pass. Kadi for 3. Remember that was a third quarter dagger from Kadi late in the shot clock. It's really changed the momentum.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Look at that pass. It was almost a little bit of spin, or an angled spin to make the ball come back into the player. It was a beautiful pass, right on the money for an easy 2.
So Australia have saw their lead erode. They were up by just 8, and now they've gone back in front by 13, and Lamas calls timeout.
That is much better there. All right, talking to the defense, verticality, good shit. Okay?
Tagashi with the 12 points. Brown now with 9. You would have thought that Miyajima would be a guy that was going to be providing some scoring for this Japan team.
Yeah, with 2 points on the board, maybe not seen as much as players that probably you know, but you're saying that he should be a better contributor on this team.
Well, he led him in 2015, yeah, certainly. But they didn't play Australia in that tournament.
Well, it's funny, I think as the years go on and new players come into programs, isn't it? The emphasis perhaps lies with different players, and they don't necessarily perform year in, year out for your national team the same way you would, perhaps, or as consistently as perhaps you'd like.
Tell that to Pau Gasol.
Well, thinking about the Kazakhstan with Panamaro, who would have been a star in years gone by, but now at 28, he's not perhaps the star he was.
Now there's a man that knows Asian basketball. Tagashi. Oh, front back of the rim. Bryant with the rebound. Oh, no look. Just imagine, I mean, Australia haven't even played with David Anderson today. And now Kay's basket takes it back to a 15-point advantage.
Yeah, nice work from Kay too. A little jab step to begin it, then a dribble in and spin. Let's see what Ira Brown's got up his sleeves. I'm sure he's going to look to score.
He's wearing a tank top. He's got nothing up his sleeve.
He's got to get involved.
Doesn't have any sleeves. Ball missed. Three-pointer is good.
Okay, just nice stroke there. Nice pass from Kadi. He claps his hand defensively. I think that might have turned this one around. Australia just lulled into a false sense of security for the start of this quarter. Now back on track.
Kate's a good player. Made a good pass in that first half, didn't he?
Yeah, yep, he did indeed. I can't remember which one. Is it high to low? No, the backdoor pass to Newley, wasn't it?
Just trying to think now.
It was the backdoor pass to Newley.
Okay.
That we were raving about. Mitch McCarron scuttling over there to pick up the man he was guarding, which was Udai Baba, but the ball hadn't been inbounded yet. They're going to shoot free throws here. Yeah, we are indeed. Kosuke Takeuchi. He's got a twin brother, is he? Kosuke Takeuchi. They were mainstays in the Japanese team a few years back. The Takeuchi boys. Can't remember his name. Was Yuki maybe? No,
I can tell you.
You can tell me right now. I know that.
Kosuke. But there was also Takami.
No, because Kosuke is playing here.
Okay, sorry, Joji.
Joji.
It was Joji. Yeah, he's a little bit older. I think.
And he would play. They played with J.R. Takaragi, didn't they?
He's 32. Joji.
Yep.
Takeuchi. And in fact, his brother. I mean, they're twins.
Yes, so, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Gemelos. So 81% of the line for both teams. Look at that. Both 9 of 11. Not often you see that.
Ira Brown is 11 points now, Jeff. He's very quiet the first half. He's getting the job done now, though.
Well, McCarron trying to get it done for Australia. Kicker.
It's almost too easy, isn't it? The bigs get the ball at 15 foot. They're not sure whether pass, shoot, or drive, and make the good options, and things will happen.
Hiramoto. Shinoyama. Now Hijima. Shot clock winding down, so Hiramoto has to launch one. Kicker puts it up and hits the three. And the veteran
looked over to the bench too. I'm not sure what he was looking over there for. Maybe get approval from Lamanis. Maybe just to check with the referee. It was a three.
Got to tell you some things that Kickert said before this tournament. There he is with a rebound. Hands it off to McCarron.
Happy to be here.
Well, you just have to wait. I'm not going to tell you until the time is right. Here he is again. Got to put it up, Danny. He puts it up, and this time doesn't make it. So at the end of the third quarter, it's Australia leading at 64-43 over Japan here at the FIBA Asia Cup. There it is, 64-43, Australia on top of Japan. Well, Mick, I'm guessing the yeah. guessing we're going to see some shooting numbers here now. And Khadi with the 13 points. We saw Mr. Brown. You ever see that movie called Mrs. Brown? Well, this is Mr. Brown. He's got 13 points, 11 points for Kickert. And after cutting the deficit to 8, Japan have seen Australia go back in front by 21 points. Well, welcome back to Beirut. If you stepped away, we're now in the 4th quarter. It's Australia in command by 21 points. The wind is in the sails of the Boomers. And the bank is open for Mr. Furukawa from the free throw line. He makes a deposit. You think that's interest-free checking? Here's McCarron.
Either way, we need a few more of those from, well, he'll need a few more of those to get his team back in the game.
Well, McCarron answers with a 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you know what? That shot's been open all game long. That'll wing it. Foul line extended jump shot from the 3. They've hit, I don't know, I'm guessing 5 shots in that area.
Furukawa with the push. So is it on Creek?
Yeah, Creek's pushed Furukawa. Furukawa get the 2 free throws here, so a chance for him to get some momentum personally. And you know, at 22 points down, you say never give up. But it's a tall order really for this Japanese team, but undermanned, under strength.
There's Furukawa at the line. Now I was reading the excellent basketball writer Roy Ward in The Age, and he had interviewed Daniel Kickert, and he said it's always country first, then club. It generally goes in that order, and I think that is how it should be with any athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. Right with you there, Jeff.
The tone of it was why he's still playing as he gets older. And he says, I'm going to put on the jersey as long as I can.
No, I mean, I think, you know, you're absolutely right. There's no greater.
No, it's not me, it's him.
Yeah. Well, no, there is no greater honor, is there?
Yeah, no.
Represent your country.
I mean, you and I are representing our countries here, but it's not quite the same thing to be able to put on the jersey on the hardwood, is it?
No, you don't get a cap for sitting up here waxing lyrical about the experts of the game, that's for sure.
There's Kickert, and he makes the pass, and Creek.
Nice play. Hey, Creek's tough. You know, and Daniel Kickert's such a great asset in terms of passing the ball in that high post.
And there's Creek getting a hand on that, knocking it out of bounds. And Andre Lamanis has to be thinking, okay, we've taken the game by the scruff of the neck now. Let's lower the boom. And the miss, and now Creek. And he explodes to the basket and draws the foul. How about Mitch Creek? Boy, he is explosive.
Yeah, and he goes off the right leg and scores with the right hand. Obviously, it's the other way around. Look at this thing. It's right leg.
Yep.
And the protection with the left hand. So he's gone opposite in the way you're conventionally supposed to do it, but nice
And is
work.
he doing that because he knows the block attempt is coming?
No, because he's doing it because he can't take the extra step because he could go too deep. You risk getting blocked shots. So you go off, you jump early off your right leg, whichever it is.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but normally you go off your left hand.
Okay, yeah.
So you transfer your right hand to get the protection. Yeah, it's good play.
And Angus Brandt knocks it back, and Creek, Australia not able to get the ball to go in.
It's a nothing call here. Creek's going to get this for riding Shiniyama through the lane. And he's looking around and saying, what are you saying, ref? This is every day in practice. Come and do a Boomers practice, and then you'll see how we play defense.
Oyama misses, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go back over to Australia.
Yeah, they've done a great job today, Australia, in looking after their rebounding. I don't know, was it the halftime? Well, yeah, it was halftime when Japan had 6 rebounds for the game.
20-6, they're being out rebounded.
Yeah, the break. That's right. Yeah.
The Blanchfield misses from deep.
And the rebounding numbers now, Jeff, 37-16.
Now think about all the great Australian players that aren't here.
I'm thinking
Pat Mills, Andrew Bogut,
Baines,
Aaron Baines, Joe Ingles.
Yeah, really. Some solid
Matthew
players.
Dellavedova.
Yeah.
On and on and on the list goes. And yet they're able to put together a team like this and come out and really play with a lot of fire, a lot of energy, a lot of passion.
I said before, Jeff, they're favorites. I mean, they're not favorites for any for the fact that they put some players on the floor that can play. You know, that NBL back in Australia is a tough league.
But you know, it's interesting when you see Glidden coming out here that you've got Lamanis, who basically coached what, half his team was NBA players last year and half at the Olympics and half was NBL. And he's basically coaching a new team.
Yeah.
With the exception of David Anderson. And they've come out, they've shown, they've gelled pretty quickly, it appears. And now the block and the foul called on Creek, and Lamanis doesn't agree with that.
Interested to see that again. The only thing about these screens is they're good screens, but because they're blind screens, the player doesn't see them. Therefore, the trauma afterwards can be quite
dramatic.
Yeah, it can be quite dramatic in terms of the referee, what he sees as a reaction.
Well, he was definitely jarred when he went down, Japanese player. Oh, nice cut back into the lane. Hiromoto goes up and draws the foul.
Nice work from Harimoto there, the number 88. We talked about at the beginning of the game. Little pump fake, get 2 Australians up in the air. Good fundamental basketball there.
So Brandt will go out and he'll be replaced by Hodgson. Hodgson has had a good game today for the Boomers.
Yeah, and you bring David Anderson into this team as well, Jeff. You've got a good rotation of bigs. You've got some perimeter players that can shoot the ball. You've got some exciting players like Mitchell Creek who can put the ball on the floor and attack. It's a well-balanced team they put together here.
And what I like about it is we see Harimoto at the line. What I like about, you know, the Australian fans need to remember that this is a team that not only wants to come out and make a statement and win this FIBA Asia Cup, but they are preparing for the big games that are going to be played in November.
And what's the venues for the Australian games, Jeff? Do you know?
I don't even know if they've announced those yet.
Sydney perhaps, or Gold Coast?
Well, they've got a lot of land down under.
Are the Crocs going to host one at Townsville?
I'm sure they'd like to.
Nice
and it
pass.
goes, and nice finish by Creek.
They've done well, Creek, today. You know, Norton found him with a dime there, really, but good finish from the number 7.
Lead right now 24 points. Nothing is coming easy for the team in white. And you know, I remember them taking a beating early in the FIBA Asia Cup a couple years ago, and then they made a strong run to the semifinals to ensure their presence at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Japan. Picks up the foul.
Yeah, Takeuchi, another little pump fake. You know, all the time you see these guys pump faking, Jeff, it tells you one thing: there's a slight intimidation factor, because you don't pump fake unless you don't believe you can get your shot away. So therefore, You know, and you don't see that many pump fakes in this game because players just jump right over the defender usually. So there's an element here that Japan really feel they're a little overgunned or just under strength and under the basket.
Now their first World Cup qualifier will be at Chinese Taipei.
Yep.
And I'm just looking here, and I don't see the actual location for the game in
That's
Australia.
a tough turnaround, isn't it? Because you only got a 72-hour turnaround for those games.
That's right. It's very interesting. It's going to be,
So
from a basketball standpoint, the basketball world is going to stop. People are going to see what's happening.
I mean,
and I think especially the teams from New Zealand and Australia, they're probably going to benefit as much as anybody from this. Well, and they may even get their NBA guys playing in June.
you think of the miles they've got to travel between games, though. In Europe, it's a little easier.
Oh, yeah, but I think the Australians and New Zealanders are accustomed to these long trips. I'm just curious if it's going to impact their opponents in Asia more. Whoa, Hodgson not wanting Harimoto to go up, and who was it that was down? K. I wonder if he's okay.
It's interesting because Harimoto knocked over Kay first of all, then Hodgson seemed to take some exception to what Harimoto had done to his teammate.
Yeah, look at this, look at this.
So,
oh, yeah, that was definitely a message.
Hodgson
Slow down shot.
walks away from it straight away. Good boy. Don't get involved. He's just saying that. He's just saying to the referee, there's an elbow thrown. What am I supposed to do, ref? Could get interesting back at the hotel at dinner tonight, couldn't it?
Well, they all eat in the same venue. You might even get in there and scrap away. Trying to get an extra roll or something.
As long as they leave some food.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, good luck with that.
They can do what they want over by the dessert, as long as they leave some mains for me, all right? That's all I can do.
So Harimoto makes it, gets it back to 21-point deficit. So that Australia haven't been able to turn on the style yet. And you know that, let's be clear about this. There are no more Crocs in Townsville, by the way.
Oh no.
Unfortunately.
What happened?
Townsville Crocs. Well, they just don't have a team there anymore.
Oh wow.
That was followed by our ace Cub reporter. And the bank shot is good.
Where did it move to?
Well, got the Cairns Taipans, New Zealand Breakers, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane. You got the Hawks, Sydney Kings, Wildcats, Perth Wildcats.
Good ball movement there from the Boomers, just moving. I think everybody touched the ball on that fast break there. The Japanese did well to keep that one out. Kosuke Takeuchi takes a break there, the veteran.
And the dump inside to Brent. He turns, he scores.
Jeff, you wonder what Japan have got coming up in terms of the men's basketball. We know women's basketball is on a flyer right now, but the men's basketball, they got Hashimoto. Is it? No, who's the guy at Gonzaga?
Hachimura.
Hachimura,
Rui
yeah.
Hachimura, one of the real stars at the Under-19 World Cup this year.
So we know he's a real up-and-coming star.
Harimoto for three.
But Takeuchi at 32 years of age now. His brother's not with the team anymore.
Yeah, his brother Joji.
And they're two bigs. I mean, they're 6'9" bigs that have been stalwarts for the national team.
Yeah, we're wondering maybe why Rui Hachimura didn't play this summer. It could have been a case where he felt like he needed to get back to college to get ready for the season. Norton's in the game, spins, puts it up, and 2 shots have been awarded.
Yeah, Hudson too big for him down low. Too big, too tall. Ota with the foul.
Norton's in the game, I think just 24 years of age. The Illawarra Hawks. Now, pass whipped over, and
good defense from Horton there.
Absolutely.
Just held his ground.
oh, I think look at Newley just take it away. He's gonna throw it down. Nope, he's gonna lay it up and in.
In his younger days, maybe, Jeff.
Yeah, he was thinking about it.
Just great defensive work from him, really. Not with a steal.
Well, the Australians are going to play again on Thursday, so in 48 hours they'll take on Hong Kong. They'll be even bigger favorites in that game.
Yeah, you must think this. I mean, for all the teams here, this has to be a favorable group when you look at it, really. When you got Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei as the other two teams.
Yeah.
Chinese Taipei come without their Quincy Davis,
Yep.
their mainstay player, just got injured, and Hong Kong, traditionally not that strong.
So these two teams, and it does make you wonder with Japan going up against a team like Australia, is this going to help them for the rest of the term? Because then they're going to play a couple teams that perhaps they should be.
Yeah.
And Australia, potentially, they're going to cruise in all three of these games. And is that what's going to happen the first time they face some adversity in a tournament like this?
Australia?
Yeah, when the game is hot.
I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Now,
No.
I seem to remember you saying the same thing at the women's tournament.
So Angus, as he comes off, I want you
And
to go to
it's a good point, actually, because they did face adversity in the final for the very first. They went behind in the final for the first time, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what it was. I
And
mean,
then
they'd beaten a very good Japanese team earlier on, and then when they met them again.
it was a different story. Yeah. Yeah, good point.
So David Anderson will make the team stronger, and I'm not sure why he hasn't played today if he's carrying a niggle. But I'm guessing Coach Lamanis is going to give a big thumbs up to his players after this game.
Yeah, it's a good performance. I mean, you think this team has been put together, as you said, Jeff, with the aim of moving forward to the World Cup qualifying. You would imagine maybe the odd player to come back and insert in. But yeah, first time out in the tournament, they've done very well.
And you got to get to the World Cup to
Get to the Olympics.
in 2012, with perhaps the exception of Japan, who are hosting it. Although I still think their spot has to be approved by FIBA, which I'm guessing will, but you never know. So, good defense. Here's Newley, goes behind his back. And the pass goes out to Norton. Misses, but they get the follow.
Wow, Japan did everything they could to keep that one out, but I say again, the Australian bigs, they're just too tall.
And three-pointer, no good. What do you do if you're Lamas and you're trying to build a program, or strengthen a program rather, not build one, refine it, make it better? And as you said, Takeuchi, 32. And maybe one of your bigger issues in this team is the size factor.
Jeff, one of your problems is if you haven't got a thorough junior program, junior development program, you can do what you want at this level, but it's just scratching the surface the whole time, isn't it? You've got to produce players. You've got to bring players through at the world-class level. That's the.
And we know Hachimura will. He will come into it.
Yeah, but and again, it's down. What do you do with the under-12s? You're under 13. What are you putting together for them?
Yeah.
And at what age do you introduce the game to players in terms of skill acquisition? Young people. That's the measure of a good national team program.
Well, yeah, this is where Australia is so strong.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
at every age group.
Absolutely.
They've got teams that are expecting.
I mean, Australia's sport crazy. I mean, the outdoor life is what Australia's about, isn't it? So anything that's competitive and going to make you healthier in terms of fitness levels and and good living. It's all about Australia. So it doesn't matter what sport, they go out there talent picking everything. And a nation like Japan with not the biggest population, they're competing with soccer,
baseball.
That's football, by the way.
Well, here's Norton going baseline. And Hodgson goes up again, misses. Brandt gets it. He says, I'm going to take this. Give me those 2 points.
Yeah, well, they've just been a beast, haven't they? Both of them all night.
Oh, Brandt just turns into Oda, says, don't come in here. And that time, Brandt picks up the foul.
Not very happy about it, is he?
No.
Stop the clock with 53 seconds to go. Let's just get this one done now. A few Australian flags down below us, Jeff, and one lone Japanese supporter up to our right. I seem to remember seeing him in the Philippines. He travels everywhere with the team.
Oh, I see the guy with the drum.
Bangs his drum, puts his flag out. Yeah.
So Baba was at the line and made it a 22-point game again, but we're in the final minute. Newley takes the pass, misses, but look at him follow Hodgson. And Japan will try to strike fast. And they do. Furukawa brings the offense. So back to a 19-point deficit. Well, we wondered what kind of impact Oceania would have on Asia. And so far the signs are quite dramatic. They're going to be 2 wins in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
For one from New Zealand.
Absolutely.
Against Kazakhstan, and now one for Australia against Japan. But needless to say, for both of those teams, they're going to have some very difficult opponents down the road. Especially New Zealand next time out against Lebanon, the hosts with the mosts. And there you see Coach Andre Lamanis and Julio Lamas, two of the best in the business, shaking hands. There he is with Adam Caporn as well. And Lamas goes and shakes the hand. Julio, you got to let the game finish before this happens. Don't be in such a rush. You know, the food will still be on the dinner table when you get back to the hotel. Anyway, it's Australia winning convincingly 84-68. And they win without David Anderson today. Perhaps kept out for precautionary reasons. The Boomers taste victory in their first ever FIBA Asia Cup game. So from a shooting standpoint, I mean, listen, the stats are going to be very good for Australia. Shooting wise, rebounding wise, I mean, 44-16, that is just, that's annihilation. I mean, that's not even competitive on the boards. 16 rebounds at this level, Jeff. I mean, 10 turnovers saved Japan, really. If they'd had any more than that, would have been even worse than the, what's that, 16-point deficit. And 16-point really doesn't do justification really to Australia's dominance in this game. You look at Haramoto, did well, number 88 there for his 13 points. We saw some good things from Japan, but I mean, at the end of the day, they were just overmatched. I'm not sure they could beat this Australia team even on their best day. No. On their best day, Australia's worst day, maybe. But they were overmatched, and you know, it's the first game of the tournament, so in a nutshell, a convincing win for the team from down under. Yeah, very entertaining. Good to see the Australians out, and really a sign of things to come. That's all I can say. They're going to get better as this tournament goes on, and they're going to see better opposition, which is going to make things a lot of fun. Well, we saw a lot of good things from Cameron Glidden, especially in the first half, as well as Kadi. Those two guys, and Hodgson was very solid, especially in the second half. Kickert was terrific, unselfish, making plays when he had to. And we saw Creek really step up in the second half and live up to his reputation. For Japan, Togashi, he had 12 points at halftime, and he finished with 12 points. It was Harimoto who ended up leading them in scoring with 13 points. And, you know, if you're Julio Lamas, what do you do at this point? I mean, well, you come here knowing it's going to be a tough game. It was
2 easy games ahead of you. All right, they're the 2 winnable games.
2 winnable. I wouldn't say easy. I would say winnable.
Winnable games. That's all you've got to focus on now. You've got to make the quarterfinal. So can you finish second and get to that playoff for the quarterfinal? That's what your aim is here for Japan, making that quarterfinal spot. So are they going to be the top 8 of this competition? That is how you're going to define yourself as success or failure. Anything above top 8, semi-final, 5th or 6th, that's going to be a real bonus. This is not a strong Japanese team, and I've seen, you know, we've both seen stronger teams in the past. There's going to have to be some serious thinking about where this team goes in the future and what this team's going to have to do to get back to the world level, because they've been stronger than this before, and they need to find some answers for the program.
Well, I think that they know that, and that's why they've made the change to bring in Julio Lamas. But I think they probably have to be realistic that, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. And you touched on it in terms of youth development. We know that at youth level, the Japanese women are, you know, they've got some good players. They did well at the Under-19 Women's Championship. And we did see some good things from Japan at the Under-19s as well, but it's going to have to be more than one player. And Julio Lamas as well is going to try to get his philosophy. And I suppose for him, it's certainly a fresh, interesting challenge.
Yeah, exciting too. You know, different part of the world for him. You know, it's that old adage when you're a coach and you get on your ears, you take most jobs, and you got to be willing to take jobs in anywhere in the world, or you don't have a job.
Well, international basketball really knows no boundaries, and especially in Asia, you see a lot of foreign coaches, especially from Europe, coming to these parts. But for someone from Argentina, you have to kind of tip your hat, I think, to Japan for kind of thinking outside the box. Argentina has as we talked about, a reputation for having bright minds in basketball. Ruben Magnano, Sergio Hernandez, Lamas. The list goes on and on. So anyway, 84-68, Australia win it. Thanks for watching.